Jane Lindley, first up. What's going on, Janie? How are you tonight? Can you hear me good? I hope you can hear me good. I don't know. Are you? Hey, Kakalina. How are you guys? What's up, Troy? How are you? Does it sound better than before? Like last week and the week before and the week before that? I hope it does. Jesse Good. What's up, DB Mac? Lake 17. How are you? Kathy Hayes. How are you? What's up, the wolf? Oh, no. It's their wolf now. Wait, was it always their wolf? I thought it was the wolf. What's up, Robert Sharp? How are you, buddy? Claire Harris. Poppy from Sweden. How are you, my friend? Tyler, what's going on? 420 Tyler. Guess who's back? Janie's back. Tell a friend. Come here, buddy. That's why. Okay. Because the RE was capitalized, but now it's not capitalized in this for some reason. What's up, September Wesley? How are you, buddy? Boss Monster, how are you? I know it's starting to grow fast now, right? Thank you for noticing, Claire. What's going on, Chevy? That's what I call Ford sucks. We'll call him Chevy. What up, Captain Ron? Big storms tomorrow? Really? Not up here, I don't think. I think it was like 40 degrees today. What's up, Delirium? How are you, my friend? Let me see. Oh, Janie's right. Fucking storms. Great. Love snow blowing. Old movie fan, 1973. I had my first Dogman experience, my only Dogman experience in 1994, but I've been interested in the paranormal since the 80s, but I've been researching like for real for since my first Dogman experience, so about 30 years. MJ, how are you? Janie, no, these are not new. I've been had these. What's up, Darren K? How are you, buddy? Jesse B or Jess B, how are you? No worries, and welcome to the welcome to the live. I appreciate your support. What's up, Raven? How are you? Marty G. Thanks, Delirium. Appreciate that. What's up, Charlie Knight? I know my lisp isn't so bad anymore. It's right now it's 33, so we got you beat by 10 degrees there, Wolf. But I just looked and we're supposed to have snow tomorrow, so Janie's right. Randall Kennedy, how are you, buddy? So I usually show like new knives when I get a new knife, and I got a new knife, so I want to show you guys. Now, you guys have seen like all of my knives, my micro tech and shit like that, and my Boker and that the German one. But look at this. This one is so awesome. This is a Kershaw. Kershaw makes great knives. I love Kershaw knives. But it's got a bottle opener on the back for the Coca-Cola cans or bottles, right? But then it's an actual out the front, but it's a manual out the front. How sick is that? A manual out the front. I love this thing. Randall Kennedy, thank you so much. Is there a name for two different storms, Janie? When two storms hit? Is that like a nor'easter? No, that's not a nor'eastern. Thanks, Raven. It is a cool knife, right? What's up, Sonny? How are you? I got this on Kershaw.com, and it was $22.99. But I love Kershaw's. I don't know why. It's like for my go-to knife, my everyday carry, Kershaw is it's a good knife, cheap, you know. Why? I mean, I have a Microtac and I have the Boker, I have the fucking $400 knife, but I bought it and realized, like, that Microtac, I bought it and I was like, dude, my fucking Kershaw is way better than this. So just a really nice knife. Where I live in the real upstate New York. I don't live in Western New York. I live in the Adirondacks, the real Adirondacks, like Lake George region. That's where I live, country proper. I know a lot of people that are from New York and that live in Western New York, like out in like Utica, Rome, the Cuse. They will say they live in upstate, but that is Western New York. I don't really know the name of it, to be honest with you, Darren. Just an out the front, but it's got a cool little bottle opener. I mean, I've got a couple of onions and I got a couple leeks. They're nice. Have you looked into a knotted deer? Yeah, I mean, I got a Benchmade. I like Benchmades. They're not bad. I got one Benchmade. I'm not the knotted deer thing. I lean more towards like a creepypasta thing. I think people are spotting something like a fucked up deer. I don't know. I've just never really like, maybe a shapeshifter, possibly a shapeshifter. But it's definitely not a skinwalker unless it's on Navajo land. But yeah, I'm not really, I don't lean towards looking into that too much. That's just my own, you know what I mean? It's fucking weird for me. Spydercos are good knives. Yeah. I have a lot of knives like William. I love Kershaw for some reason. I got a couple SOGs. I've got a shitload of knives actually, but Wendigo is First Nation lore, and I am Native American. My family lives on the Akwesasne Reservation in Hogansburg, right above Messina, right above where Troy lives. What's up, Shackleneck? And that is nothing what creepypasta, Reddit, the movies have made it out. It's not a fucking deer. It's not anything. It's actually a black mist in native lore, or an emaciated human being, or in my culture, it is a whitish kind of demon. Savage Lunatic, how are you? What's up, Brian Mons? How are you, buddy? Sasquatch and Grandma. I was watching a channel called That's weird. That's weird. That's like that lady from Scotland that took a picture of her field. Clint, thank you so much, buddy. John Solo. Maybe a Bigfoot. I know I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong, but I know where you're talking about, and I've heard of a lot of Bigfoot accounts in that area and Dogman, but I'd more or less lean towards a Bigfoot. What's a good machete to get? Anything. Shit. I've got two. I actually have an actual like machete from South America, and the thing is made out of like spring steel. You know what I mean? It's a real like bamboo cane cutting machete. Anything that's not made in China. Winter Sky, how are you? Actually, I've got I wish I had it up here. I got a beautiful machete from a subscriber, and the thing is razor sharp. I actually was using it to hack my my plants along my base of my house down this fall. I'm like, MJ Bates, thank you so much, dear. Yeah, I have. I have friends that live close to Napa. One of my friends that lives pretty close to Napa actually has a paw print, a couple of paw prints, not just one, in his marijuana fields, legal marijuana fields. I don't know if they're all demons there, Wolf. I mean, that's theory, and you can't really put it out like that because that's your theory. You know what I mean? Thank you, Clint. Appreciate you, brother. Trying to make sure. Joe, what's up? How are you? Pine Knot. So I've got some amazing lot lizard stories tonight. I outdid myself tonight for you guys. For the lot lizards, I outdid myself. But I've got some really sick experiences to share with you guys tonight. How can growing tobacco be illegal when they sell it for themselves? How can growing tobacco? I didn't say tobacco. I said marijuana. What's up, Andy Davis? How are you, buddy? Thank you, Margie. Appreciate you. Storm in Alaska. How are you? Stacy Mathis. Sonia, how are you? Wolf Moose Bear, how are you? Tim? It's all coming in fast now. So fast. An experience with in Stonyford. Where's Stonyford? Like in relation to a larger kind of metropolitan area in California, or is it north, like in the Emerald Triangle or whatever? No, Andy Davis, I'm so sorry. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it then. I really wouldn't doubt it. Andy, I am so sorry. Your dad is in my prayers, broski. I am so sorry. You've had a shitty like last couple of 6 months. I'm really sorry for you, bro. Clint, once again, thank you for the love. I appreciate you, buddy. Send me an email, Elena. I just want to make sure I pronounced your name right. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to narrate it. I'd love to get you on. Dustin, how are you? I am doing well, thank you. What's up, Nicole Clark? My family is well. How is yours? Life does happen, broski. It does happen. But it's hard when you're dad. Hey, there, Wolf, I've been doing it just as long, maybe a little longer, but like I agree. Some may be demonic, some may not be. But you know what I mean? Like, you've got to kind of, how you word it is more or less what I was saying, because it's your theory. I think what I saw was possibly demonic, but there's people that have shot them and killed them. So how, with blood. So that kind of balances that out. You know what I mean? What's up, Audio? How are you? Wound socket. Dude, I'd love to hear that. Woundsocket. I've been to Woundsocket. I went to Woundsocket on my way to the Conjuring House, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the Conjuring House is demonic. That place is fucked up. Actually, I think we stayed in Woundsocket, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure. Oh, thank you, audio. It's my kind of Dogman one, and then I got the old Bigfoot right here. Yeah. Yeah. I like my Raven. My Raven's one of my favorites. I gotta get a new tat. I gotta get a new tat soon. I'm born and raised in Rhode Island. Rhode Island's an interesting state. It is not what you think. You know, like Clint, thank you so much, broski. Truly appreciate you. You are a fucking legend. Rhode Island is not what I thought it would be. You know, you like growing up in the Adirondacks and Allie, thank you so much. Growing up in the Adirondacks, I always thought like Rhode Island was like Connecticut people. No offense, Janie, but I was wrong there too. You know what I mean? Like I always thought they were like these snooty rich people. But dude, there's a bunch of fucking rednecks in Rhode Island. I loved Rhode Island. Rhode Island and Delaware. I was like, shit, I'm right at home, son. Connecticut too. Connecticut's a real interesting state. I remember we went to when we went to the Warren Museum, and then we went to a paranormal con where it was a bunch of really awesome people. But I went to that Indian reservation. Holy shit, Clint, what are you doing? You're on fire tonight, broski. Alan Howell, thank you so much. Clint, thank you. I appreciate you. I would love going to Kentucky. You know, like I said, I got to wait until Isabel is done with school, 18 years old. I can trust her to fucking use a toaster oven by herself, you know? What's up, SDL? How are you? Lord Fellhand. Connecticut's going to get bullied out of New England. I don't know. Massachusetts would be the state. Because, like, I have family that lives in Maine. And, like, well, I have a house. My parents have a house in Maine. So I grew up there, too. Like, in northern Maine. On Mount Desert Island. It's like a lobster community. But there's people from Massachusetts moving into Maine. And the locals, they're like, there's another mass hole for you. Look at these mass holes coming in. Goddamn mass holes. Thanks, audio. I appreciate it. Tigger's lurking around somewhere. He was on my floor 20 minutes ago, stinking up the joint, and then he fucking bounced. The second I started the live. Where is he? He's laying on my bed. What's up, Ginger? How are you, buddy? I'm doing well. Thank you for joining us tonight. Guys, thank you for everyone popping in tonight. Let's have some fun. Let's share some experiences. Tonight's first experience is very, very interesting. I tried to mix it up. I tried to like really give you guys a good variety of everything. Randall Kennedy, thank you so much. Holy shit, you guys are on fire tonight. Well, Erica Wells, I'm glad that you're here. This incident occurred in November of 1991 near Falmouth, Kentucky. It was early afternoon. I worked on a 160-acre farm at the time. One day, while I was eating lunch with a friend, I was told that hunters had snuck onto the property. I finished lunch, got a gun, and walked down to the fence row. I planned to cut into the woods and sneak up on them. I'd been out there for about 45 minutes to an hour and was walking through the woods when suddenly something stepped from behind a tree. I yelled friend or foe and pointed the gun at it. I couldn't believe my eyes because there, standing in front of me and my gun, was a 3.5 foot tall, unknown gray colored creature. Suddenly, I felt them talking to me telepathically. I had the feeling that it was a young female and it was scared and telling me it was planning to run up a small knoll. Then it ran up the hill. I followed. Then there was a flash of light and a portal or a door opened out of nowhere. It was about 4 foot wide by 8 feet tall. There was this bright light inside, and I could see that it was filled with small beings. Now it looked like it was wearing a tight fitting black suit of some sort. Suddenly, out of the corner of my left eye, I saw what looked like something running toward me. I wheeled around, and right in front of me was a lizard like humanoid about 5 to 6 feet in height. It held a long staff in one hand. The humanoid's face was more insect like and had blue eyes. Again, I felt as if it was a small female being's father or guardian. At this point, and to my right, a 7 to 8 foot tall, brown, hairy, Bigfoot like creature instantly appeared standing nearby. I did not hear any spoken words, but heard it in my mind. No, don't hurt him. Just then, the lizard like creature looked right at me, and its eyes changed to a yellowish gold. I then ran. When I did, I suddenly found myself alone in the woods, and it was nighttime. I stood there in shock for a moment, trying to collect myself. I then walked back to the farm. Once I arrived back at the farmhouse, I found another farmhand that said he thought I was lost, as they had been looking for me. I did not say a thing about my experience. This has been 32 years since the incident, and I have never experienced anything like that again. Aramilk! George Coker. What's up, buddy? There's Mayhem Maggie. Hey, Colleen. There's my drunk aunt. How are you? My drunk aunt. You know, I have loved her name since she came to this channel. It's such a good name. Randy Man. How are you tonight, Randy Man? I love other people's drunk aunts. Yeah. Andrea Dingbat, how are you? Gotta love that name too. Clint, thank you once again. Drunk Aunt and Dogman Daddy doing it again. Well, that didn't sound right. That I apologize. That did not, and I didn't, nor did I mean it. What's up, DL Hemingway? How are you? And every time I see DL's name, I think of Hemingway. I don't know why. Like with Clint's name, I think of, well, drop the N, and for some reason I think that. Send me an email, audio. Send me an email. SG, have fun at work, my friend. What's up, Bobby Schultz? How are you? Georgianne, good evening. Mindy Weeks. My dad is good. Big Jim is doing good. If anybody knows, I may not catch it in the chat. No. Oh, Jeff can say it'd be cool. Sorry. Okay. Audio, this is for you. I'm going to put my email in the in the chat. If you get a moment, write it down, send me an email, and I can give it to you that way, bud. I'm a terrible typist. There we go. I'm right below Claire, right above Charlie. I'm a Claire Harris Charlie Knight sandwich. Or I could be a cuck. No, I don't want to be a cuck. Aramak. Yes, Clint is a giver. He is definitely not a taker. He is a giver. Stacy Mathis, I'm right above your comment, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 right above it. Lindman, what's going on, buddy? How are you? Cheers to Chow. How are you? Dude, has anybody, speaking of portals, that experience that I just shared, have anybody seen the TV show The Man in the High Castle? Because I do so much cryptid shit and paranormal shit, I can't watch videos and I will not. So I watch like weird shit. The Man in the High Castle is the most amazing TV show ever. It is an alternate world. Like if World War II, if the Axis powers had won, and it is fucking amazing. I saw World Bigfoot Central making gugwee sounds. Well, a gugwee is not a Bigfoot. It's a Micmac name for a creature similar to a gugwee. And it has a muzzle, a very short muzzle. So I don't know what World Bigfoot Central is, but saying that they're making a gugwee sound is not, unless they're Micmac and hanging out, you know what I mean? Like it's... IE Native, how are you? Well, you'd be making Sasquatch sounds then the whole time. What's up, Five Rings? How are you, brother? But that's really impressive, making Sasquatch sounds. What is a Micmac? Micmac is a Native American tribe. Middle East Coast. Kentucky region, I believe. Beat Riz, what's up? How are you? Nick, how are you, buddy? Did they take the fringe off Max? Anyway, if you guys get a chance to watch The Man in the High Castle, it is so amazing. It is like unbelievable. The Nazis run the world. Okay, so East Coast is New Germany. The middle of the United States is the neutral ground, and the Pacific states is run by Japan. And it's so crazy because they talk about like alternate dimensions and switching. Like one Chinese guy or Japanese, he's like a Japanese minister of defense or something, goes through like a portal, and he's got a family in like 1964. Kennedy's the president, so like natural, regular like reality, and then goes back. It is such an amazing show. And it's a good book. I like the show so much that I ordered the book on my Kindle, and then I bought the physical copy just because. It's been rough, Jeff. My mom passed. Oh, fuck, bro. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I'm glad that you're here with us, though, bro. I'm sorry, Five Rings. My fucking prayers go out to you and your family. I am really, really sorry. Damn. Aramic, I literally, the name of the lot lizard in tonight's lot lizard story, in tonight's one of them, is literally Lizzy. Five Rings, I am so sorry, bro, but be safe. And damn. This incident involved my fiance in April of 2011. To this day, she refuses to talk about it, but I decided to share it with you guys. We then lived in Bangor, Maine. It was around 10:30 in the evening. I was on late shift at work, and she was home alone with our cat in our apartment. She said she read while the cat slept on her lap. A moment later, the cat stood up and stared intently at the door. He then meowed and scampered into the bedroom. He had never acted like that before, so she assumed it was another weird cat or something. Just as she's about to get comfortable again, the doorbell rings. She thought that was strange that someone would want to visit at that time of the night. She got up, peeked through the peephole, but saw nothing. So she turned away from the door. Then there were 3 loud knocks. She was immediately alarmed, but curiosity took the best of her, and she cracked the door to see who was there. She saw a boy, around 11 or 12, though short, standing there. She opened the door to ask what he wanted. She assumed that this child had either gotten locked out of another apartment or was asking for help. That's when he looked up at her and she noticed his eyes. The light from the apartment spilled out into the hallway, affirming his black eyes. She claimed she was paralyzed by shock as the child demanded entry. By that time, the cat had come out of the bedroom and lay on the floor behind her, ears folded back and hissing. She said she felt compelled to say yes, but as she stared into those coal black eyes, she suddenly slammed the door and locked the deadbolt. She claimed that she listened to the child's footsteps in the hall, but then heard nothing. After several minutes, she peeked out the door and he was gone or just disappeared. She said she had never been so scared in her life. She thought the cat hissing interrupted her paralysis, allowing her to regain her thoughts and quickly close the door. She has never discussed it since, though I am sure she still wonders what may have happened if she had let that black-eyed boy into the apartment. What's up, Sumner? How are you? Wolfie Vagabond, how are you? Well, that's actually how it was supposed to end, I guess, because I literally read the end of the book, the last chapter, and that's how it was supposed to end, Wolfie. Definitely a black-eyed kid, Aramok. Nothing ever comes good from a black-eyed kid being at your door, you know? Especially late at night. No thanks. Because if your neighbors see you, like, what if you, like, what are they thinking, you know? I would just be like, you can't come in, but go to the neighbor's house. They might let you in. SDL, you have a family here, my friend. Definitely 100%. Sorry for your loss. We are having weird fog here, Aramic. You're right. I don't watch other channels. Grand 12. I don't watch other channels. I literally research all day long and do my own thing. I just don't have time to watch other channels, and nor do I want to. Because my own opinion is I don't want my research to. Yeah, he did actually. I don't want my research to get affected by others' researches, other people's research, you know, because I would rather have my ideas just be my idea, you know, and my whole thing is I don't want to get jaded by other research. Like, I am really good friends with Dark Waters. Him and I are best friends. Like, literally, I can say best friends in real life. And I don't watch his channel. Like, I'll go and click on, I'll give him a love, you know, a like. But I can't watch other channels like that. What's up, Christy Strom? How are you? It's probably foggy out right now. Yeah, it is a little foggy. The cop is down the road a little ways tonight. That $20 is $20. There you go, DB Mac. That one's for you, baby. China, every country on the earth, except the Antarctics, I would say have Dogman or Bigfoot. Aramek, this one goes out to you and your love for, well, we all know what cryptid is your favorite and how much you love him. I've not thought about this in a while, but recently saw a show talking about the Mothman that triggered my memory of an encounter I had back in 2016. It was late September in Chester, West Virginia, Hancock County. Early in the morning, but daylight. As I walked across town, I approached one of the churches in the center of the town. This church had a huge cross on top of the roof. I noticed something large and black on top of the cross. As I got closer, I could not keep my eyes off of what it was as I was trying to see. My curiosity was piqued as I reached the church to get a better view. This thing was at least 5 feet tall, all black, crouched down the horizontal beam on the cross. It looked almost like a bird, but huge. I was more curious than I was scared and wanted to get a better view or see what it would do. So I began to shout at it. Just as it turned, its head looked down at me, and then whoosh, it took off in flight. I could then see that it did indeed have wings. That must have been very wide total span as it flew off into the direction of the bridge across town where I could no longer see it. I was amazed. My heart was pounding as I thought to myself, was that the Mothman? I wish I had captured a picture of a video of proof, but in that moment, I honestly was just in such awe. I didn't even think about it until later. But I've read similar reports and sightings throughout the Ohio Valley, from Ohio to Pennsylvania and down to Kentucky. Just wanted to put this out there and to help Aramek believe in the Mothman just a little more. They didn't really say that, but Aramek, you know that you need to believe in the Mothman. North by Northwest, how are you? Thanks for dropping in. SDL loves Mothman encounters just as much as Aramek does. Moths are kind of fuzzy, aren't they? So moth women definitely likes moth balls. Oh. Whenever I am sick with feels as bad as there's some kind of weird cold that's going around that people are getting, and it's not the vid, but it's something like it. People are just staying sick for some reason, and it's not COVID. I don't know. Have any of you guys heard about that? Aramek, thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for blessing 10 people with a membership. I don't know. I don't know if it's RSV or what. But it's not COVID. I don't think it's RSV, actually. I think like it's baffling doctors and shit like that. That's as far as I know. I might be wrong. But like Dave Maxwell, yeah, 3 weeks. My cousin was sick for like 2 months. Probably all of the above, 12. Yeah, it's like something really nasty. What's up, Jersey Cat? How are you? What's up, JT? I stay out of the fog. I just stay right out of the fog. No fog for Jeff. Or if I do go in, I try to inhale as much as I can and hold it, and then ghost the fog. Like I'm like, haha. You know, you got to do it that way, right? Shit. I take a little tube. I'm like, bong hits a fog. This experience was told to me by a good friend that I go to church with. I know 100% that this is a true experience. I'll do my best to share it with you. Jersey Nightcat, thank you, dear. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to start this over. This experience was told to me by a good friend that I go to church with. I know 100% that it is a true experience, and I will do my best to tell it. It will become clear why some facts are hard to find and get to. I've spoken to my friend a few times about this at great length, and the event is totally amazing, to say the least. Took place in the late 80s in or around the Hutch and Colmar area of Bell County, Kentucky. This area has had many Bigfoot encounters over the last 50 years. Well, as the experience goes, several teenage boys were doing their normal thing around here, teaming up, going on four-wheelers, riding up and down this old strip mine road and logging road. This is a normal thing to do around here and a fun thing to do on the weekends. Some of the four-wheelers had 2 boys per four-wheeler in total. There were about 5 to 8 kids riding party, maybe a few more or less. Well, as they are going up and down these strip mine roads, they see what at first they think is a large stump on the ridge, but as they get closer, they realize the stump is moving. The road they were on went towards this big thing. As they got closer, it started coming toward them. And of course, they hit the gas on their four-wheelers and tried to hurry past the massive creature. At this point, Bigfoot really starts chasing them on their four-wheelers. The creature cuts down the ridge to try and cut the boys off. The first few riders make it past the area where the creature is coming to. But my friend's brother, who is on the back of one of the four-wheelers with 2 people, are at the end of the riding group. Well, the creature makes it to the cutoff point at almost the same time as the last four-wheeler. The creature makes a grab for the boy on the back of the four-wheeler. That is my friend's brother. It either grabbed him slightly or the four-wheeler, not sure but which, and almost ripped him off the four-wheeler. But due to the speed, they rip loose from the creature. Of course, these boys are scared to death almost about this, and now, all these years later, it is very hard to get them to even speak about it. I talked to my friend about it, maybe getting his brother to tell me more details, but he said he cannot talk about it without breaking down or crying. So, very similar experience that I heard from Donald Coleman Jr., who used to be a deputy sheriff in the Lake Pickwick area. He was a sheriff and a park ranger for quite some time. But he said that there is a dirt road that runs along one of the rivers by Lake Pickwick. And a group of kids, not this experience, but a group of kids were on four-wheelers, and they had seen a Bigfoot come off this embankment and chase them. And then one day, a helicopter had crashed. I don't know exactly how it had crashed. No one had gotten hurt, but it had crashed, and the pilot and the passenger were trapped in this location. And as they're waiting for law enforcement and EMS to get to them, they could hear whooping all around their area, middle of the day. So Kentucky definitely has some Bigfoot goings-ons there. Aramic always sends Jeff the best swag. Lindman. That's why you don't ride bitch, because fucking Bigfoot gets turned on. You know it, baby. Bigfoot's like this. With that big fucking Donkey Kong. I would just turn around. Bigfoot's got this big fucking flapping at you. Big balls on the back end. No! No, thank you, Bigfoot. Y'all heard of donkey shows. What about a Bigfoot show? Dude, that would definitely be pink sock region, 100%, John Sumner. 100%. Lindman got that one started. Thank you, Larry Lindman, for the joke. Getting that one started, brother. What's up, Rando? How are you? Ugh. Dude, I have these slippers that are like sleeping bags. Look at these things. They're like fucking sleeping bags. My feet are so hot right now. They stink like shot right now, too. Ugh. They are comfy. They are comfy. It's literally the same material that a puffer jacket or a sleeping bag is made of. And they got like tread, too. They got tread. They're pretty nice. Snellygaster. What is up with you and Snellygaster, Aramic? The coolest Snellygaster story I ever heard was like from Maryland. It was a group of kids in the 70s or 60s trying to go up this like mountain, and they saw it fucking flying at them and throwing shit at them. Oh, that's right. I forgot all about that. Thank you, Aaron. What's up, Wiley? How are you? Damn, my feet stink. I should put those fucking things back on. Smells like fucking raw asshole. That's what my feet smell like right now. Raw asshole. That's nice. We'll have to hold that thought for another 12 minutes until it's lot lizard time. My mom was a switchboard operator at what used to be the Hotel Dixie, later changed to Hotel Carter, located in Midtown Manhattan. I occasionally accompanied her on weekends when she went to work. And as she worked, I entertained myself by reading books. Dinosaurs were my favorite subject. Was often the choice of reading. I had a fascinating conversation with the maintenance man, whose name was either Vito or Vinny. I can't remember. Anyway, this maintenance worker said he was driving down one of the highways in Long Beach, New York. And while driving along the highway, with the beach and water to his right, he looked up skyward. At first, what he mistook as a large kite turned out to be a large prehistoric-looking flying reptile or pterodon. Here's the shocker. Though other people stopped and got out of their cars to see this creature as well, it, the pterodon, seemed curious about everyone who stopped and was observing it, hovering in the wind current as it did so. The same maintenance worker said he regretted not having a camera, as other car drivers did, who were taking photos. After witnessing this creature, the pterodon lost interest in the observers and glided away with the wind current, lazily flapping its wings 2 or 3 times till it was out of sight. What's amazing about the whole incident is that Lindamoul and Howe got another sighting of the same creature about a few months later, or a year afterward. I also mentioned this alleged sighting. Personally didn't see it, but my mother's coworker did. This happened during the late 70s. Ivermectin is a medication. It's commonly used to combat colds and such. People say that it's horse dewormer, but it's like it can be used for every other different things to help. It's not just a horse dewormer. Yes, D.L. Hemingway, absolutely, 100%. Please do, my drunk aunt. Please do. I need to hear it. Thank you, Mayhem Maggie. No, holy shit, winter sky. Imagine getting dumped on by one of those things. Ew, that'd be so gross. I saw a flying demon in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Didn't have red eyes or look like a moth. Official report in. Dude, send me that, Mark Preston. Please, I want to hear that. I would love to hear that. Hang on, I'm not wearing shorts tonight, so I gotta get up and adjust. Sorry. I didn't have time to change into the live stream clothing, so I'm wearing wool pants tonight. So it's like I'm really not sweating tonight, kids. Look at these pants. Yeah, these are the old Woolrich wool pants, baby. They are warm as can be. Warm as can be. Gotta get wool pants, especially when you live in the Adirondacks. Shit. I don't want to fucking get no loss of love juice in the old gonads. Love juice. Ew. They are my big boy britches. All right, last experience before AAA2. The police car is out there every Saturday. Yes. Last experience before the first lot lizard story. And I can tell you what, I really, really outdid myself. I had a weird incident in 2009 after we moved into our house in Fairfax, Virginia. The morning after we moved in, our doorbell rang at about 7 a.m. I answered the door, and there were 3 young men, probably in their early 20s, dressed in black suits and ties. All 3 were very pale, which concerned me initially. But I then noticed that all 3 had very small black eyes. It was so weird that I just shuddered in fear. I didn't even wait to see why they knocked at my door. I just immediately closed the door and yelled, "Go away!" I peeked out the side window of the door, but they were gone in like 5 seconds. They simply vanished. I checked to see who our neighbors were by going door to door and introducing myself, and none of the neighbors resembled these 3 young kids. that came to my door. We have lived here for over 13 years now, and I have not seen them since. I've talked to my neighbors. It's a great neighborhood, and no one has any idea of who I encountered or who they may have been. Go away! Go away! That's so great, dude. Thank you, Aramic. I appreciate you. That is the lining of the wool pants. They have these lining. It's almost like that makes that corduroy sound, but it's like silky. And I'm tempted not to wear underwear with them, just to see. All right. Clint, thank you so much, buddy. All right, so we are going to start the night off with the gay lot lizard story. Thank you, Janie. All right, here we go, kids. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right, this is good. This is so good. The flickering neon sign of the old pie-hole truck stop buzzed like a trapped hornet, casting a sickly yellow glow on the cracked asphalt. This wasn't just any truck stop. It was a purgatory of greasy fries, lukewarm coffee, and a local legend whispered among the long haulers. Fork-tongued Freddy. Freddy wasn't your average lot lizard. He was a flamboyant 6'4" slab of himbo beefcake with bleach blonde, faux hawk, and defied gravity and a penchant for skin-tight leopard print. He also, according to the hushed, horrified tones of truckers, possessed a disturbingly long, multi-pronged tongue, a biological anomaly that defied decent human imagination. And he wasn't afraid to use it. He strutted between the idling semis like he owned the place. His platform boots clacked against the pavement. He winked, flash a grin, and could curdle milk. And then launch into a tirade of the most creative, filthy insults a human mouth could conjure. Hey there, big rig, he bellowed, his voice a surprising baritone. Your oil's looking low, and, honey, so is your enthusiasm. This was usually punctuated by a long, wet thwip of his forked tongue darting out, tasting the air like a reptilian. The humor was, of course, cringe-induced. The horror, however, lay in stories. Truckers talked about Freddy's services in low, terrified whispers around the dining counter. It wasn't just the language, it was the unconventionality. One driver swore he felt Freddy's tongue lick the carburetor. Another claimed he had heard Freddy whispering obscenities into the CB radio. Another swore he saw Freddy casually lick the fifth wheel, claiming it needed some flavor. No one offered a coherent narrative, just images of bizarre encounters and the lingering sense of violation. Old Man Tiberius, a trucker so ancient he claimed to have driven with the dinosaurs, was the only one who dared to speak of Freddy without a tremor in his voice. That boy, he wheezed, his milky eyes fixed on the horizon, ain't natural. I seen things on this road, and Freddy, he's something else. That tongue, they say he can taste your fear. The fear was palpable, Even the toughest grizzled veterans of the highway would scurry back into their cabs when Freddy's leopard print glinted within their peripheral. They'd lock their doors, sometimes even start the engines as if they were going to make a break for the border. One night, a young, fresh-faced driver named Gary pulled into the old pie hole pulled into the pie hole. He was new to the road, full of naive optimism. He saw Freddy prancing by his truck and, mistaking his gaudy attire for a costume, smiled. "Cool outfit, man," Gary said from his open truck window. Freddy stopped. His eyes widened like a cat on the hunt. He sauntered toward the truck. "Oh, honey, you like that? You think it's cool?" he purred, leaning in. "Well, you haven't seen nothing yet." His forked tongue slithered out and flickered against his lips. "How's your transmission fluid?" he crooned. "Feeling empty?" Gary's smile faltered. He tried to roll up the window, but it was broken. He stammered, his face turning pale as Freddy pressed a hand against the cab, the long, unkept nail dragging on the metal. That night, Gary became a legend, or rather, another horrifying anecdote. He was found curled up in the corner of his cab, muttering gibberish about the flavor of diesel fuel and how rude Freddy was to question the integrity of his mud flaps. His truck air horn would sometimes sound at odd hours as if it was trying to warn other truckers. The old pie hole remained a beacon of greasy despair and a playground for a certain flamboyant fork-tongued nightmare. And the truckers, well, they kept driving, forever glancing in their mirrors, hoping to never see the glint of a leopard print and the horrifying thwip of Freddy's unholy tongue. They knew that Freddy wasn't just a lot lizard. He was a terrifying anomaly, a living, talking, tongue-wielding metaphor for the strange and horrifying places the open road could lead you. And they couldn't help but keep coming back, just to be sure they weren't the next victim on Fork-Tongue Freddy, the king of the creepy truck stops. Good, good, good. Scale of 1 to 10? 1 to 10? 7, 8? Fuck, 8? Come on. Andy Davis. 10, 9, 9, 8, 8, 8, 2, 8, 2. Best story so far. 9, 5, 7, 7, 12. Oh, whoa. Danny Darlett. Hello. Hooray. 10, 20. 9.5. Do I hear a 15? Do I hear a 15, 16? Do I hear a 17? Do I hear an 18, 19, 20, 21, 22? Dude, wait until you hear the next one. The next one is just a little bit filthier. Andy Davis, I wrote that one just for you, bro. I'm gonna incorporate you in the next one. What's up, Israel? How are you, buddy? Oh, without a doubt, Clint. Without a doubt. We usually do go till 2, bud. Andy Davis is going to be in the next one. That I can tell you. He's going to be getting tongue punched. No, Aramic gets not, he's not staying in. No, it's you. You can't deflect. You cannot deflect, Andy Davis. Is this beat? Yep, beat. Bung blasted, tongue punched, elbow deep, whatever. Andy Davis is taking it at the old pie hole truck stop next week, fellas and girls. And nope, no $20. Andy does not get $20. He gets $5.99. That's what Andy gets. In the fall of 1995 in Barberton, Ohio, just outside of Akron, my best friend and a guy friend were driving by a very old cemetery near my home, Kaiser Cemetery on Swigert Road. They described seeing a large creature with red eyes that flew and chased their car to keep up, no matter how fast he drove or what turns he made. 1 second, she saw it in the side view mirror. The next second, it was in front of them. They said it bolted from front to behind effortlessly and only disappeared when they turned onto the main road with heavy traffic. None of us, just kids at the time, had ever heard of the Mothman. I wasn't quite sure. I believed it until she made me tack up blankets over my bedroom window. You could see the graveyard in the distance from my house and push my dresser in front of it. She also insisted on sleeping with me in my bed and literally wouldn't even let go of me or wouldn't let me go to the bathroom without her because she was so terrified at what happened. Neither of them had spoken much about it in the years since that night, since our other friends unfortunately made fun of her. But I believe them both. You just can't fake that kind of terror. Interesting side note, I am mixed blood, part Shawnee, from near Point Pleasant area. I know of no other sightings in that area or any incidents involving the cemetery beyond accidentally crashing my bike there. You belong to the city. What song did I do? Oh, here we go. Let's see if you guys can figure this song out. $20. Here's a $20. That was, oh, fuck. Wiley got it. You got it. Holy shiznizzle. Wiley got it. I did belong to the city. I started belong to the city Aramic with the night, but Wiley got it. Holy shit. Rock and steady! How are you, buddy? Long time no see. I am the Hebrew hornblower from trying to think of a good place to be from. I'm the Hebrew hornblower. There we go. Name that tune. Not that I'm aware of. You're a drunk ant. Not that I'm aware of. But it may be like a juvenile, or it may be just, fully not grown. I'm not sure. Female. Arabic, thank you so much. Write a story, Clint as a Yeti. Well, I only do these stories about lot lizards, dear, but I'll try. I'll add Clint in the lot lizard story as being a Yeti who gets donkey punched. Aramic, thank you for the love. Allie, thank you for the love. I want a story too. Hang on, I got to take my shirt off. that's better. Okay. Dogman Encounter. There's a movie out, werewolves. Anyone seen it? I don't watch werewolf movies. I don't watch fake shit. But there's a new one coming out. I know people like that. People like it, but I don't know. Clint, thank you. Ooh, I'll try to do Iron Man. I'll practice Iron Man this week. I am happy my hair is growing back. I hate my hair being short like this. I went to my parents' house the other day, and my dad's like, I like that hair length. That's a good hair length. Don't grow it long again. And I'm like, I miss my hair, you dink. Okay, here we go. This is actually from New York. I have a lot of experiences that happened around my neck of the woods tonight, too. I was hunting with some friends of mine outside of Addison, New York in November of 1986. I was a top man on the drive, and I crested the hill and decided to take a break. Things were pretty slow as far as hunting. Typical fall day, no overcast, and dry conditions. We had just finished eating one of my many baby Ruths when something caught my attention 50 yards east of where I was sitting. I looked toward the direction and noticed something that was black running very fast down the side of the hill. It happened so fast that I wasn't sure what I was seeing. It appeared to be upright and about my height. I stood 5'9" and ran with incredible speed. What is odd about this incident is that I had time to eat and sit down on the tree, and at the time, I was not even in stealth mode. I always scan the area before I stop for breaks, just in case I have missed any game. I almost felt as if whatever it was observing me and had enough. I was definitely in a hurry to leave. I observed it for only at best 5 seconds. I could hear it break deadfall once I lost sight of it as it ran. There are bear in the area I hunt, but this seemed to be taller than the average black bear. My first thought was that it had to have been a bear, even though it was running upright. I remember standing up, startled once. I made eye contact with the running object. It appeared to be eye level. My second thought was maybe it was a black Angus steer that had gotten loose from a farm. But again, steers don't run upright. I was spooked by the incident, the same feeling you have when you stumble upon a grouse at close range. I thought again and surmised if it was a bear, it was a very large one and able to run on its hind legs for a great distance. I was not far from the end of the deer drive to meet up with my friends at the truck. I asked them if they had seen a bear or any deer. They all said no. I did not tell any of them of this incident. On August 5th, 1995, a Corning Leader newspaper wrote an article about a possible encounter near Rathbone, New York. The area is not far from where I was hunting. There were casts taken as well as hair samples by the Department of Environmental Conservation, or DEC, to my knowledge, and they sent it to Cornell University for testing. Tommy, how are you tonight? Sully, what's up, buddy? Tommy and Sully. You guys remember that one story, one experience? The guy was a sheriff deputy, and he had brought his 2 sons out hunting. His youngest son was just old enough to go hunting with him, deer hunting. And the oldest was up on the rise, and they were sitting. His youngest was like right here. He was right here, and they were in the trees. And they could hear like what sounded like a herd of deer running at them. And they felt like the whoosh run by them. it was dark out, so the dad couldn't really see well, but the oldest son saw perfectly what it was, and that it was. He's like, dude, it was not a bunch of deer, Dad. It was one creature running upright. What's up, Derek Bailey? How are you? Aramic and Jeff alike love Nephilim stories. Hi, Sonny. How are you? Gina, I'm having a good night. I hope you're having a good night. Well, that was the story, Wiley. There wasn't a lot to it. Crawler stories are good. Rake's a creepypasta name. It was actually, the Rake name was created by Tobias Wade. Dude, the Skinwalker Ranch experience was insane. Insane, man. And when I was talking to him, his brother or foster brother was in the house. They still live together to this day. They're like best friends. And sure, Tommy. And like they still remember like being on that mountain and seeing those dogmen coming at them. Hey, Janice, how are you? Oh, shit. We were just talking about that too, Janice. That's crazy. How about TikTok? How about TikTok? Huh? Anyone on TikTok? Yeah, my daughter Isabel was crying. Poor little buddy. She's like, Jordy, how are you? What's up, Widmore? Yeah, dude, done. Done. She was just like this. I'm like, YouTube has shorts, bud. She goes, but it's not TikTok. It's not TikTok. And I'm like, well, you're not gonna look like you have Tourette's anymore. And that's what I said to her. I said, it is a form of invasion of our First Amendment. It is. Thank God it is. But I'm glad it's gone, but it truly is. My oldest daughter's dad is a pothead. He got me a weed pen for Christmas and I accidentally hit it too hard tonight. Oh my God, Tommy. What's up, Paula? How are you? Yeah, it's gone, Blue Days. It's gone. Yeah, Rockin said. Well, I explained that to Isabel and her boyfriend. I was like, guys, when you downloaded the app and activated it, I'm like, it states right in the fucking agreement that you are allowing the Chinese government access to your phone and all apps on your phone. New York State has well more than 8 inches because I'm here. Oh, dun dun! That was a bad joke. Yeah, I got it in December. I got my implants put on December 5th. Thanks for noticing, Clint. Yep, December 5th. Sully got it at least. SD got it. Wednesday, you get yours? There's Jeff's new smile. I still can't smile good. I got that little weird fucking... I look like a fucking serial killer. Full top and bottom. 10 anchor on top, 10 anchor on bottom, all in one day. What's up, Roberta? How are you, dear? Yeah, Jordy. I'm going to be paying for these goddamn things for 10 years. For 10 years. I'm not really sure, Gina. I'm honestly not sure. Thank you, Susan. Really, Clint? That's crazy. They did mine. So I went in on December 5th. I took this pill. I don't know what it was, but I'm in the back of my mom's car. I'm fucked up. I'm like, my dad's riding, bitch. Mom's driving. I'm like this. And I go, there's a tractor trailer. We're on the fucking Northway. Of course there's a tractor trailer. My mom's like, what? Of course there is, Jeff. Shut up. And I'm like, oh, just wasted. We walk in. I put my slippers on. I brought my slippers to the appointment. I sit down. They do all the shit. It was 6 hours surgery. It was a 6-hour surgery. I remember the first 20 to 30 minutes. The last thing I recall him saying is, we're going to put a screw in the roof of your mouth right now, Jeff. And I'm like, okay. That's all I remember. And then I remember waking up at home, trying to hit my jewel, and I got I got a mouthful of cotton and blood, and I spit it out, and I'm like hitting my jewel, and I realized that I don't have my teeth, that my teeth are gone. All I had was the anchors, right? But then things start to pop in my head, and I remember mid-surgery that he's like, Jeff, you're going to bite my fingers. Jeff, you're biting my fingers. Stop biting my finger. And I looked at my oldest daughter, and I'm like, I don't have any teeth. I'm like, he didn't give me my teeth. I go, I bit him. He didn't give me my teeth. And then the next day, so this was on Thursday, Friday, I went in, and they gave me my temps. And then February 19th, I go in for the sizing. And then March 18th, I get the permanent ones that are made out of zirconium or whatever. Oh, Clint, that's scary. That's scary, bro. That's scary. I had to get it done, STL. It was a medical issue. What's up, Nick Hendricks? How are you, bud? Honestly, no. Just rest. Just rest. I figured as much, Clint. I figured as much, bud. It's not as bad. I mean, I literally did the live stream the day after. You know what I mean? Like I got the teeth pulled on Saturday with the anchors put in. Then they put the temps in on Friday, and I was doing the live on Saturday. So, I mean, my face was swollen and I couldn't say my S's. I sounded like Freddie Four Fingers from the truck stop, and he's named that Four Fingers for a reason. Oh, dun dun. ready for steak knife. I can say my S's now, no problem. Steak knife. Is it painful? No. I mean, I didn't take pain medication for it. I took ibuprofen. They prescribed me, but I'm sober, so I won't take. Even like my doctors are like, dude, you can take hydrocodone because it's prescribed to you. And I'm like, no, I can't. I'm like, I was a fucking heroin addict for 20 years, you asshole. I'm not going to take Vicodin, you dick. Because you fucking, I start taking it. I take 2, get high, and I'm crushing those fuckers up. I'm like, no pain now. Ah! Wesley, yeah, brother. I didn't inject. I I'm afraid of needles. Well, I have to inject testosterone now, but I for from the time I was 17 until I was 39, I was an opiate addict. I was doing Vicodin, perks every day. Like I would buy my uncle's script from him, which was like 105 pills every month. And then I was snorting like 4 bags of dope a day. At the end, I was 4 bags of dope a day plus pills throughout the day. And then I OD'd once and in front of my daughter. And it was it. I was like, I'm fucking done. I'm like, I'm done. This is it. I'm done. And I've been sober since. It's a one cc or whatever it is. It's a full little bottle. They're not grams. They're 4. I guess it would be like 2 to 3 grams, somewhere around there. 2 weeks, every 2 weeks. Same as Darren. But I'm bad at it too because I go slow. I go really slow. I'm like this. Congratulations, Stacy. Right in the ass cheek. I'm not sure the name of it. It just comes in a little bottle. I don't look at it. My doctor prescribed it. My pharmacy gives it to me. I shoot it in my stomach. Well, delirium. I mean, that's sober, bro, or sister. That's sober because, like, I would even do that. I would do that if I was sick too, you know. Yeah, I'm on some other pill for it, Larry. I'm on a pill so I don't lose my hair and so I don't get titties and something else. I don't know what the name of it is. It's a little fucking pill. So I don't get titties. I'd be playing with those suckers all the time, especially when the testosterone kicks in. Woo! I'd be like, I got titties! Yay! Oh. I never figured out what it was. When I was 13, maybe 14, we were up in the boundary waters west of Hovland, Minnesota, about 100 miles south of the Canadian border, somewhere in there. It was me, my longtime good friend, who was basically cousin slash brother, kind of, and my older brother. We were staying in a cabin. It was my dad's buddy's cabin. A couple of other people showed up, and we were short on space, so we decided we were going to sleep in my dad's pickup box. The cabin was built on a hillside going down to the lake, and we were kind of off the road down to the cabin. So we're lying in the back of the truck, kind of like we're in the driveway would be for the cabin, and it's all hillside on either side, and it's all woodland trees right down to the road. Thick trees. And it was late. It was closer to 1 to 2 in the morning, and we're just lying there talking, telling stories, trying to fall asleep. It was really hard. And we're just lying there looking up at the stars, and up north, you can see everything in the sky. It was like small black dots starting to get bigger in diameter until it basically blocked out all of the stars. And my brother's like, holy shit, guys, do you see that? I said, yeah, I'm looking right at it now, you know. My friend was like, oh, whatever. Off to our left, it was crazy. It was really weird, high-pitched scream that actually can't explain what it was. It stayed for a couple of seconds, then stopped. Everyone froze. We stopped talking. We're like, what was that? And by that time we asked what it was, it did it again. It was almost like it was touching the front passenger mirror of my dad's truck. And at that point, everyone was barreling inside the cabin. I'm a pretty avid outdoorsman. I'm out quite a bit. I hunt fish, and I had never heard that sound before. It was no owl. It sounded like a bird kind of, but it was really, really high pitched. There was no one else out there for miles. All right, now we're going to get into experiences in my neck of the woods. Oh my God, Allie, look at this. Allie just said, not today, Satan. Ha ha, I got the sticker. No, it's a magnet, sorry. What's up, VHS? Not today, Satan. It is starting to get long. All right, so Adirondack stories in my neck of the woods. Here we go. So I live in northern Warren County. All right. Above me is Essex and Hamilton County. Below me is Saratoga. On the side of me is Washington. 2010 in southern Adirondack, New York, in the Adirondack Park. To the amazement of many, America's largest wilderness park, my wife and I saw what can only be described as a hyena chasing several deer across the road. The animal literally stopped dead in front of our car, stared back at us for a couple of seconds before it moved off. I've been in the woods my whole life, raised with a gun since childhood, spent many summers in Lake Champlain. I've hunted, fished, instructed archery and rifle range, hiked, coon hunted at night, owned horses, and ridden horseback through the wilderness, and presently live with all kinds of wildlife on my lakefront creekside property. Well, I thought I had seen it all, but I have no idea what this was, other than to say it was a hyena. It was very large, 250 to 275 pounds, long, bushy tail, brindle, wiry, spotted brown, black, and gray coat with powerful predator build. Thick lower jaw, rounded, diamond-shaped triangular head with rounded ears sitting high on its head, and what appeared to be a mane running down from the back, originating to its neck. Its hind legs were noticeably shorter than the front and much more thicker and more powerfully muscled than the front, so that the animal sloped down in the powerful rear. I have seen countless hyena on Discovery Channel, National Geographic, and Wild Kingdom as a kid, and there is no other opinion than this strongly resembled a spotted hyena. I immediately went home and searched. Amazingly, it is said that the mountain hyena once roamed the Adirondack Appalachians. Well, I have news, at least one still does. My wife and I, with me at the time, actually called New York State NCON at Raybrook when we got home and got laughed at. We even received an irate email back ridiculing my report, which was accidentally sent to me instead of the NCON worker. This really made me mad, as I had made friends with my local NCON officer who liked to use my property to catch poachers. Although we do have an animal park at the end of the lake, when I called, they assured me they had never had any spotted hyena in this area. I was only shortly after I saw a Monster Quest episode describing a similar animal in Maine, while the Shunkaworkin is well known to the Iroquois as the dog killer. That supposed Shunkaworkin famous mount seems far too small and pig-like to be what I saw. Its legs were far too scrawny, and it seems far less canine than what we saw, also possessing a longer straight coat and thinner snout. Then, a few days later, we saw it again, doing the same thing. There is no doubt this was not a coyote, a wolf hybrid, or a coy dog. It was a hyena. My property has a creek and lakefront, plenty of deer, coyote, red, gray fox, fisher, eagle, turkey, duck, blue heron, owl, osprey, geese, duck, and occasional black bear. This fall, we had a yearling moose. I've seen it all, especially riding horse. You name it, I've seen it. I can identify it, but have never seen anything like what I saw. The closest thing that I can come up with is a spotted hyena. Thank you for allowing me to share. Now, when I first shared that a couple of years ago, I did a deep dive on if there was a hyena in prehistoric time or before America was settled. And there was like thousands of years ago, there was a large mountain hyena that lived in the Adirondack. So he was right 100% there. Maybe he did see something. Maybe this thing crossed from a portal from a different time dimension or some shit like that. I've often thought about that. Like, what if there was like a rift in the time continuum, but for real, and it just crossed over, you know? Not really sure, Cedric. Like a wrinkle in time. Yes. What if there's still just mountain? Dude, that'd be scary, because where Raybrook is, where I'm assuming where he had his encounter, is not far from where Tom Messick disappeared, where I go all the time. And I've seen some weird shit up there. I've had a lot of, weird shit happen to me up there. So He's there tonight, Maggie. Yeah, I talked about him a little bit. You must have missed it, but yes. I pulled it out at the beginning of the live, Clint. So it's not too warm. It's not too cold. It's just right. You need more than just one hair follicle. You actually need hair follicle and fatty tissue to get a good DNA trace, Michael. I've sent actually the guy from Meeker, Colorado sent me a awesome like a pile of that, and I sent it in to get tested from a veterinarian friend, and it came back corcata, which is actually a hyena and an unknown primate. So yeah, I mean, I've had it DNA tested. I've got a pile of hair with follicle, and well, the blood and fat and meat is so long since gone, but no. Per Victor, no, Clint. Per Victor, no. I'm gonna have Luke back on here pretty soon. What do you think about Black Wolf? Not heard it. Not heard it. I'll check it out tonight, though. There, Wolf. No, unfortunately, I don't. But this one is from Warren County, New York, and that's where I live. In October of 1992 in Warren County, New York, it was about 6 in the morning. I was on my way to work when something came running out from the right side of the road out of the woods and forced me to stop or run into it. It was dark at the time of morning, so it took a few seconds to get my thoughts together. When I did, I could not believe what I was seeing. It was somewhere between 7 to 8 feet in height, at least, white or light gray hair from head to toe. It was standing 10 to 12 feet in front of my car, directly in the headlights, so I had a perfect view. The creature was standing facing the left side of the road with a slight twist to its body in my direction. We stared at each other for what seemed like minutes, but I can't say for sure how long it was, actually. I had absolutely no fear of the creature. It seemed to have a sad demeanor. This creature made no sound at all, and I do not have any reason to believe it was male or female. Needless to say, I've carried my camera ever since, but I believe that this was a once-in-a-lifetime incident. I was alone in my car with no other witnesses. I started to tell my mom and sister at work when I arrived, but they said it was a bear. And no, I said it was a bear because I knew they would not believe me and think I was crazy. Many months later, I did tell my family, and sure enough, they called me crazy. This next one happened right in my hometown. Thank you, George. I am a wealthy man with the amount of friends and respect and love I have from you guys. You're absolutely right. What's up, Moses James? How are you, my brother? All right. This is from my hometown. My brother and I were canoeing on Lake George, New York at about sunset. We were heading south for 10 minutes to an area known as Deer Leap at Lakeside. It is a boulder-strewn area with cliffs rising 600 feet above the shoreline. That's where we used to jump off of it. You can jump off of it. Not the 600 part, but like 100 feet. As we began to come to this area, we saw something standing on the shore. It was brownish in color and standing straight up with its arms at its side. It was about the size of a small man, very thin. Its body was facing south, looking down the shoreline, when it suddenly turned its head directly toward us and looked very intently. We whispered to each other and watched it while it watched us. We are two grown men paddling parallel to the shore, 200 feet out. But we could not summon up enough courage to get closer. This thing had a strange look, with an almost crazed grin, like a giant lemur. The sun was set now as we continued to watch it in the shadows of the mountain as it was standing next to an old dead pine tree. It turned and climbed sloth-like up the tree about 20 feet to the first and only large limb onto a crooked branch. We paddled back around, and as we approached it again, it cocked its head directly at us. After about a minute or so, it turned its face downward into its body and became as if it was part of the tree, just like a lump on the crook of the branch. You wouldn't know if it was there unless you saw it move. I have lived in this area all my life, and I have never seen anything like this, and I have not seen it since. In my searching, I found references to a creature found in the woods of New Hampshire. They call it the devil or stickman. The one thing in common is they can blend into the trees to avoid being seen. One county above me. I was driving home through the mountains from a concert July 11th, 2014 on Route 8 in Hamilton County, New York. James Moses, thank you, my brother. It was 12:37 a.m. I hit a creature that was carrying a deer with my car. My car was damaged from hood to the rear by this creature, and I know it was at least injured, and its DNA may have been on my car. The speed limit was 55. And I was not able to stop in time when I saw the creature, which was carrying a deer about to step into the road. I hit my brakes, but I was only able to slow down before impact. I didn't really believe in Bigfoot before that night, and I am still shaken up. And I have not been able to share this experience with anyone. I wanted to stop and see if the creature was okay, but I was scared out of my wits to get out of the car. The creature was huge, at least 7.5 feet in height. I have seen drawings of such Bigfoot, and this creature looked similar. But it had white around its hairline, and its fur was dark brown, almost black. I am shaking typing this out, and I am in such disbelief that this happened to me. I didn't even report the accident to the police and didn't know what to tell my insurance company. My car was totaled. The creature crushed my windshield wipers together, broke many pieces off the passenger side, and left smears of dirt and blood all over my rear window. Dogman experience, one county up. Staying with my brother and dad at a cabin on a hunting retreat in New York near Speculator. Speculator is like 45 minutes northwest of me. We had gone out there to hunt deer during 2016 black powder season. I was up late sharpening knives for dressing and cooking of anything we managed to take. It was about 2 a.m. and I'm getting ready to go to sleep once I finished the last knife. I saw the security light outside flick on and got up to take a look at what was out there. You're not allowed to take deer at night, but I figured there was no harm in just getting to look at it, seeing which way it went so we could track it tomorrow. And if it wasn't a deer, it would still be nice to see the local wildlife before I retired for the night. So I look out the window and I see these two big coyote-looking dogs with huge heads outside on all fours. I initially thought they were coy wolf, a hybrid between a coyote and a large dog, which happens sometimes in this area. So I watched these things sniff around. We had grilled some hot dogs earlier. They must have come looking for the smell. I watched them for a few minutes, and then one of them does this weird jittering motion. It sort of stretched its hind legs out one at a time, and even through the glass, I could hear a popping sound. It was a real horrible noise. This thing did one leg, then the other, and then it sort of rolled its shoulders, made another popping sound, and stood on its hind legs. We had put our bags of deer scent and stuff into the tree like you would to keep bears out of it, tied it up in the tree. It reaches up and grabs the bag and pulls it down. The thing rips open and tears through it. It finds the deer urine in there and sniffs it, then seems almost angry and throws it into the wall of the cabin. At this point, it spots me. This thing looks at me, locks eyes, and the second one stands on its hind legs. They both are looking at me for a few seconds. I literally thought I was going to die. They seemed angry. I had seen them or upset about it. They turned and ran off still on their hind legs. I broke down crying, locked myself into the bathroom, and refused to leave the cabin for the rest of the trip. I stayed there and dressed and cooked deer. I wouldn't go outside and actually covered the window in my bedroom because I was convinced I was going to wake up with one of them staring at me. I estimate both creatures to be about 8.5 feet in height. I could not see genitalia on either of them. They had green luminous eyes that were colored like coyote. They were colored like coyote, tan with gray on the back, white with cream belly. They had tufts at the end of their ear like a bobcat, long tails like a wolf's tail, fluffy like that. Thank you. Sully, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Appreciate you. What did I miss? Thank you, Sully. I truly appreciate your love, brother. Appreciate it. What if lot lizards become real one day? They are real. They're prostitutes at truck stops. Thank you, Allie. I doubt they would turn down a gig. Maybe. I think Skippy would be all over a lot lizard. He would bring his dog in that jar of Skippy with him, and he'd be all over it. No, I don't know that, Savage. Am I? I'm a celebrity. That's crazy. I'm just an idiot from upstate New York. Lots of cryptid encounters. Peter Peekers. Oh shit. Peter Peekers. Yeah, it's called a coyote where Mr. Jeff. You miss the minuses. Minuses. I don't know what that means, Aramic. That's too much for me. God damn it, Aramic. What's up, Rick? How are you, buddy? What kind of Jeep was Jeep? Probably like a Mothman. Aramic, would you say Mothman? Aramic is the Mothman expert, so Jeepers Creepers is definitely portraying the Mothman. Well, aliens are focused on the booter hole. So something has got to be focused on the wiener, you know? Because that'd be fucked up if a Dogman was focused on your booter with those claws. Ooh. Mothballs. The Isle of Monroe? The Isle of Dr. Monroe, 59th? Is that the movie? What's up, Carla? How are you? Oh. Do you believe there will be a replacement for Victoria? His name was Victor, and he was a dude. He had a dink, I think. I don't know. I never saw it, but probably not, honestly. And I know probably your autocorrect probably said that, but no, I don't think so. Like, I really got threatened. I know. I was just busting your balls, Robert. I really got threatened by the CIA. And Jane remembers this. Anyone who was with my channel 4 years ago will remember. I posted the emails. I actually have them saved. And I put them in my community posts. Where is my... I put them in my community post too. So hang on a second. Let me see if I have them. Here they are. So from silverperiodtail@cia.gov. You cannot create a .gov email address unless you work for the government. If you type that email address in the search bar of Google, it will bring you to CIA. This one, CIA_FOIA@ucia.gov. Please contact us through the agency FOIA hotline. Please be advised, this email is not a means of submitting FOIA requests, blah, blah, blah. And this is from Werewolf Debriefing, CIA. You can see these emails in the community post like 4 years ago. So I don't think there will be ever another Victor. And then the gray van that chased me and my daughter. No days off. All right, here we go. This one's really creepy. This happened while I was doing my army service in Switzerland in the Alps. I am not allowed to talk about what we were doing, but I will try and keep things clear. My company had installed a huge antenna, and it had to be guarded by 2 soldiers day and night. We were at the top of a hill far away from any city and near a huge forest. It was 1800 hours, and I had just started my 6-hour watch with another soldier. Everything went fine. We smoked cigarettes and kept ourselves occupied until watch ended at midnight. Then we received a call from our superior. He told us that one of the soldiers that was supposed to take watch couldn't come, and one of us had to stay for another 6 hours. We tossed a coin to know who would stay from midnight to 6 in the morning with temperatures at minus 20 Celsius degrees. Of course, I lost, and I had to wait for another soldier to come and join me for night watch. They sent another soldier, but not the best, because I knew he would sleep all night when I saw him climbing the hill with his sleeping bag. And that's what he did. He immediately took place in the tent and fell asleep. It was the coldest, longest night of my life, but nothing special about it. The weird part happened in the morning. We received another call from our superior, and he told us that we had an NBC exercise. It means that we had to wear all day long our anti-chemical suit. I don't know the English word for it. The one with gas mask and everything that goes with it. I was really upset and exhausted. I wasn't able to sleep with that thing on, and sleep was my only reward for 12-hour watch. Well, I got out of the tent, and this is where I saw something that still scares me to this day. There was a woman standing next to the antenna. She was not moving. She was just standing there 5 meters from the tent. I couldn't see her face because the sun starting to rise behind her. I knew she was a woman because she had long hair and had curves. Remember, we were in the middle of nowhere, and this lady was standing there, not moving, like frozen. I started to freak out, and I called the other guy to show him what I was looking at. I don't know why, but he wasn't scared at all after he told her to leave because she wasn't allowed here. She did not move. She just stood there staring at us, or at least in our direction. I was so confused about how a woman could ignore 2 soldiers telling her to leave a forbidden area. I mean, we're in Switzerland. The army is not that impressive, I know, but people usually don't do this kind of thing. They would just move anyway, especially when it's 6 in the morning. And what was she doing in the middle of nowhere? Obviously not dressed for the cold weather. How long had she been standing there, and how did she end up here? I didn't hear any footsteps. So many questions went through my mind at that very moment. The other soldier didn't think twice and started walking toward her. When he almost reached her, she started running very fast. She ran directly into the forest. I saw her getting deep down into the forest, and she disappeared from our sight. I am a really rational thinker. I question everything and think there is always an explanation. For me, the explanation is that she was simply a jogger because of the way she ran to the forest. But almost 3 minutes had passed between the first time I saw her and the moment she started running away. 3 minutes of not moving at all. Looked at me, dressed in something really tight, in minus 20-degree weather in the middle of nowhere. Thank God someone else was there with me, because nobody would have believed this. And guess what time it is? Guess what time it is? I'll give you one guess. Darren called it. You're absolutely right, 59th. Darren called it. Here we go. Not what time it is what it is. Oh, that's fucking classic, though. Oh, God, that made me laugh. Thank you. All right, here we go. The title of this is Lizzy, the Lot Lizard. Once upon a time, in a small town in the middle of nowhere, there was a dirty truck stop that was known as the home of Lizzy, a chubby prostitute lot lizard. Lizzy was a larger-than-life character with a personality that was as big as her waistline. She was known for her sparkly clothes, her ratty hair, and her appetite for all things shiny and bedazzled. One night, a group of truckers pulled into the truck stop, tired and ready for a break. They were greeted by Lizzy, who was lounging on a couch in the communal area, flipping through a magazine full of bedazzled accessories. "Hey there, boys," Lizzy called out, her eyes lighting up as she spotted the truckers. "You looking for some company?" The truckers exchanged glances, unsure of what to make of Lizzy. But they were lonely, and she was offering them companionship. so they decided to take a chance. As they made their way to Lizzy's room, she reached into her drawer and pulled out a huge, sparkly sex toy. The truckers' eyes widened in shock as they realized what Lizzy had on her mind. Oh, don't be shy, Lizzy said, waving the toy around. This is my favorite thing in the world. It's guaranteed to give you the ride of your life. The trucker hesitated, unsure of what to do, but Lizzy was insistent, and eventually they gave in, hoping for a wild and exciting experience. As Lizzy got to work, however, it became clear that something was off. The toy was bigger and more intense than any of them had ever experienced before, and Lizzy seemed to take a sadistic pleasure in wielding it. The truckers soon found themselves in agony, writhing and moaning as Lizzy went to town with the sparkly toy. They begged her to stop, but she laughed and kept going, seemingly determined to inflict as much pain as possible. As the night wore on, the truckers began to worry that they would never escape Lizzy's clutches. They were trapped in a room at the mercy of her twisted desires. But just when they thought all hope was lost, Lizzy suddenly stopped. She looked at the toy, a strange expression on her face, and then threw it across the room. I can't do this anymore, she said, her voice shaking. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't mean to hurt you. I wanted to feel something. The truckers looked at each other in shock, unsure of what to make of Lizzy's sudden change of heart. But they couldn't deny the sincerity in her voice, and they found themselves feeling sorry for the chubby prostitute lot lizard. It's okay, Lizzy, one of the truckers said, reaching out. We understand and we forgive you. Lizzy burst into tears at the truckers' kind words, and the group of them sat together, comforting each other and sharing stories. They discovered that they had more in common than they realized, and they found a new appreciation for each other's humanity. From that night on, Lizzy was no longer just a chubby prostitute lot lizard. She was a friend, a confidant, a valued member of the truck stop community. And as for that sparkly toy, well, it was never seen again. Some say Lizzy threw it away, while others claim that it mysteriously disappeared on its own. But whatever the case, it was a symbol of darkness that had once consumed Lizzy, and its absence was a reminder of the bright and shining future that laid ahead for Lizzy. Well, Sully, I did drive an 18-wheeler back in the day. Where is Lizzy today? She's still at the truck stop. Bedazzling stuff for everyone. 9-2. Glitter bomb. Jeff, do Lizzies go to college? I don't know if Lizzy went to college. Maybe. Yes, I write the Lot Lizard stories, Claire. They are Jeff Nadolny originals. Dude, the Freddy one was way better than the Lizzy one. I don't care. Freddy was fucking great. I love that one. I think Freddy the Lot Lizard is going to meet Clint next week for a little country fun in the old restroom glory hole. Randall Kennedy, have a good night, buddy. All right, this is going to be the last encounter of the night. Maybe. I want to tell you something that happened in Santa Cruz, California, where I was born and raised. I'm a night security person. It's my retirement job. And it was 2.5 years ago. I was there across the highway right outside of Santa Cruz Wilder Ranch State Park. It's about 2 miles north of Santa Cruz, and the highway goes between two cliffs. It's kind of, a mountain there, and I was on one side peering over. I called my friend John because I said, John, the whole night I felt like I'm being watched. And sure enough, over by the porta potty, which is about 12 feet away, there was a black figure in the back of it just peering at me. And I said, John, I don't think I'm really imagining this. It could be a shadow, but it was not. And the porta potty started moving back and forth. Well, I am a praying person, so I really started praying. And it was about 3 a.m. Everything is pitch black here. Next thing that happened was I looked across the highway, and now this is a good, distance away, maybe 150 feet on the other cliff. And staring at me is a huge, it looked like a crow, very black wingspan. According to the mountain, it was huge. It could have been altogether 14 to 15 foot wingspan between the two wings. It had red eyes and seemed to have no beak. Anyway, I called John again, said, John, I'm really freaked out. This thing is real. And if it is real, it's going to. And it started to kind of wobble toward the edge of the cliff. And I went, oh no, it's going to fly. It flew across the highway. And I said, now, John, if this is real, there is going to be a shadow over my car because there are lights on the highway. And sure enough, the shadow was by my car. And I said, it is real. This is tangible. It lands over me about 15 feet away in the field, turns and pivots, and starts walking toward me. Well, I'm kind of a weird person. I've got a lot of kapuza, and I got angry, mainly angry that it was trying to scare me and creep me out. So I got out of my car and pointed my pistol at it and said, you have no right to do this. I said, the blood of Jesus. And I don't know whether it flew fast away, but the next thing I knew, it was not there. I would say demon. Because he used the blood of Jesus, his name. Okay. This is the last comment of the night. Or not comment. The fuck is wrong? This is the last experience of the night. A friend and I were followed and eventually taunted by what looked like an alien for hours one night in 2012. The things that took place that night were the scariest things I had ever seen. Not even fiction have I heard or seen anything like it. A short version. I was just bored one night with a friend and decided to walk home at dark from the local gas station a little over a mile. I live in Louisiana, so it's acres of woods on either side of the road. Despite trying to explain away the sound of breaking branches as if something was following us, the sound of something walking next to us lasted all the way until the first light pole near the neighborhood. Now, feeling brave with the light pole and the first house in sight, I yelled taunts at where the sound was coming from. We stared at the moving brush, and a head popped out and just stared at us. We both see it and later draw the same exact thing, so we were not imagining. We ran until we were out of breath, and we were followed by red lights, like small red laser dots from the distance, like pairs of eyes. From a distance, anywhere we looked, they would appear anywhere we focused on for too long. Finally, at my friend's house, all three of his dogs are hiding and whimpering under his truck, lying by side. They're usually hyper as hell, and we couldn't even drag them out because they would run right back under. As soon as we walk into the house and close the door, small pebbles started hitting the side of the house. A back window breaks from one, and there's a pair of tiny red eyes in the distance everywhere you look outside. It slows down, and we gain enough courage to walk outside and yell at it. We walked down the steps and started yelling insults. We were stupid, I know. Suddenly, out of complete silence behind the neighbor's house, a pair of white, shiny eyes, like a wolf, but not attached to any form, slowly approached us. It started slowly, and by 200-foot mark, it started sprinting towards us and separating into an additional 2 pairs of eyes. As it's charging, we ran inside and locked the door behind us. Second later, it threw itself at the door, or at least that's what it sounded like. We looked toward the front door where the center is stained glass, and you could clearly see a silhouette of a 4-foot large dog head being inches from the front door, just standing there staring at us. We turn away for a second, look back, and it's gone. Then the rocks start getting thrown again. While pebbles are being thrown, hitting every side of the house, we look out the front window. We are standing in the center of the living room, next to each other, with a kitchen knife, both crying at that point. Outside, across the street, is an abandoned house covered in moss and stuff. Its kitchen light turns on. You can see the plants and stuff inside. It's just a table in there. There is no electricity running to that house, but the light is on, then the light goes out. I honestly don't remember much of the rest of that night from that point. The last thing I remember is we were sitting in the center of the living room, both with a kitchen knife back to back, sitting on a bed cover, crying as pebbles kept hitting the sides of the house. In the morning, we drove past where this alien had popped its head out of the bush, and 3 state police car and a regular-looking truck are parked at that bush in the woods as if they were searching for something. Looking back, I wonder why the hell didn't I try to record any of this, but I remember back then I just had one of those black and white texts with numbers type of cell phone. God, I wish I had tech to do it now. I would almost say I experienced it again just to be able to record it. Anyway, thank you for allowing me to share. Peace out, Darren. Dude, what a night. What a night. Eunice! I didn't see Eunice. I just heard people saying, bye, Eunice. Jeff, do you think Dogman were released to move us into 15-minute cities? Maybe. I'm not really sure. I think they were released to keep us possibly out of the woods, but not into cities. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean. Oh. I'm going to hang with you guys for a minute, though. About to chill, kiss Tigger, the Yankee cat. Dude, he's awesome, man. I love my cat. Every time I go to bed, he literally stares at the cross on my wall. He's like, it's kind of weird. I hope we get snow. I really do, because I got new snowshoes and I want to use them. I cannot wait, because I just want to use them so bad. Joseph Cannon. For the guy that invented zero. Thanks for nothing. Jeff, do you think dogmen make dogmen with 4 arms? Wait, what if military labs start to make? That'd be scary. Get stuck like dogs do, like with the red rocket. I often wondered that. Maybe. Where's Lewis County, Red? Tigger is my protector, but he stares at the cross. It's so weird. Like he literally, so I'll be laying in bed and I'll be watching YouTube shorts, just something funny to watch before I go to bed. I usually watch like Matt Rife or something dumb. And Tig will jump up on the bed and like he'll get on I have a queen bed, so he'll lay on his side. It's his side. But he'll stare at me for a second. He's like, and then he'll turn around and do like a circle and then stare at the cross. Like he'll literally stare at the cross. And then he'll curl up into a ball and stare at the cross, and then he'll put his head down, and then he stretches out. It's so weird. It's weird. He's my buddy, though. Good night, Allie. Thank you, somewhere in America. Appreciate you. He may be meditating. He may be. Or he's trying to figure out what is on my wall. You know what I mean? But I think he knows it's Jesus. Wesley September. That's what she said. Foothills, Adirondack, Western. Oh, Western New York? Oh, so you get lake effect snow. Aramic did send me a cool shirt. Yes, he did. Slick Rick. Because she had crabs with spears and Indian drums singing, hey, ya, hey, ya, hey, ya, hey, ya. I loved Slick Rick when I was a little kid. I wonder if it's snowing right now. No, it's foggy, though. It's foggy. You to pick his balls? I am not touching Tigger's balls. That's weird, Pine Knot. Won't you talk about Tigger's balls like that, you weirdo? You lick them. No, I'm breathing that fog. I'm getting a pipe. I'm going to be like, ghost that shit. Oh, weird cats have direct eye contact. Yeah, it is weird, George Coker. It is weird. Because Tiggy will stare right at you. Tig's like this. But you stare, and I'll stare right back at him, and I'll be like, and he don't care. But you do that with a dog. A dog's like this. Dude, Silent Hill. I would really love to go, Jeff. No, Robert Orr. What is going on is okay. So there are experiences that are just coming out because people are getting the courage to speak out finally. You know, like with people talking about these encounters and more people coming forth, more people are willing to share. I don't think they've gone up in volume over the years. I think it's probably been about the same, if that makes any sense. But other than that, I would say, not particularly. I don't think they've gone up. I think just the amount of people, saying, hey, I had this experience. Yeah, let's not talk about Tigger's sensual tongue. Thank you, Aramic, for catching that. Let's just keep Tigger out of this fucking talk, okay? Let's not talk about my cat. You fucking weirdos. Damn it. Don't you do it. So for the 260 people that are still with us, damn. All right. In Cambria County, Pennsylvania, on Crescent Mountain in 1965, I was exploring the woods with a friend who lived in the area. We crossed a stream at the bottom of a ravine and went uphill. Maybe a mile up the slope into the trees, we came upon a dome made of interlaced tree branches. It was tall enough for me to enter without bending over. I did so. It stank horribly. Inside, we found fresh Timothy grass laid out in kind of a pallet or a bed on one end. There was no debris of humankind anywhere, but there were small bones and sticks. We couldn't stand the odor and backed out, then felt like we were being watched from upslope. Growing nervous as dusk fell, we left and fast. I told my dad about it, who dismissed it as a hobo's hutch. We'd found many of those. It was not a person who made this. We'd glimpsed a shadow moving and maybe a glint of the eyes too. Reflective eyes can be down to something as simple as a lurker wearing glasses. We were told, but it had felt more animal than hobo to us. One foggy Saturday morning, I was again visiting my friend. We preferred roaming the woods to wandering the town where we lived. We were sprawled out on his floor watching a horror movie neither of us understood. It did feature a good many spooky images and a few jump scares, so it held our interest, especially with the fog that day. We heard a thump on the front door. Glancing across the living room, we saw a dog's face gazing at us through the middle of the three narrow windows set high on the door. It would have had to have been 6 to 7 feet tall to peer in. John, thank you. To peer into the glass. Its gaze shined, and we both screamed, thinking werewolf. As we gaped, it dropped down below the door's windows. Nervously, we peered out the picture window that took up most of the one wall. In the fog, we saw it again, moving past just far enough away to be little more than a shadow. The thing is, it was upright. It sort of hop-walked on its hind legs, its forelegs held in the front. This sight scared us even more. When it had vanished, heading toward the tree line, we talked about whether the thing we had just seen could have been what made the dome nest we had found. At the time, this seemed reasonable to us. We knew, though, not to tell his parents about it, about this huge dog thing that looked through the front windows. We didn't want to be ridiculed. But we did learn to be more careful when playing in the woods. Only years later did I hear about the Ohio Grassman, a Sasquatch analog for the area, where we fell within its region. Later still, Western PA began experiencing a cluster of what people called Dogman. Supposedly, it was pretty much what my friend and I had seen as kids, peering through his front door's windows and moving past his house as it went toward the trees. I'm glad we didn't encounter it directly either time, but kind of wish we had seen it more clearly before it moved away. Still gives me chills thinking about it. Being on that mountain at dusk with something like that out there, or what would have happened if it had gotten through my friend's doors. All right, guys. 2.5 hour live stream. I had a blast. Thank you for a Saturday night to remember. And everybody, I hope to see you next week. And please stay safe. Have a good night or have a good day tomorrow. And thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. With that, good night, SD. Good night, Jay Cortez. Good night, Andy Davis. Wesley September, James Cannon, or Joseph Cannon. Sully Rockin', Mike Preston, DB Mac, Jersey Nightcat, Kakalina, Wiley. Good night, guys. Have a good night. Thank you for hanging out with me. And because no one else will. I mean, what the fuck? Nobody's going to hang out with me. I'm a fucking idiot. But I love you guys. Have a good night.